I auditioned for Miss Saigon, but I didn't audition here. I auditioned, parang pinatawag lang, na-handpicked lang ako to go to New York. And then I sang, and I had a short hair, and I remember, sino yun? What's the guy's name? Cameron said to me, Miss Velasquez, don't cut your hair anymore. And that's it. I never heard anything. Apparently, they wanted me to do the
New York one, the one that Leah did, yes.
But I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
But of course, it wasn't for me.
Sure.
Although I did some musicals, because I also liked it. I did Noli Me Tangere.
Yeah.
I think I was the only Maria Clara who was belting. I'm not supposed to, but I can't help it.
Right.
Hindi naman kasi ganun yung boses ko. Ewan ko ba sa kanila, ba't kinuha nila ako dun?
We're good? All right.
This is State of the Arts, a show about the arts, theater, and creatives in and around the Philippines. For each episode, we invite industry leaders, arts practitioners, and audience members to talk about current events that shape and further the arts in the country. My name is Christopher. Let's talk art.
A lot has happened in the last 35 years. You've released albums, starred in films.
I got older.
You got older, sure. And of course, you've had several concerts. So here's a fun question. Do you still remember the very first song you sang or performed?
Very first song, Buhat. I was 6 years old. I joined a singing contest, and that was actually the moment. At a very young age of 6, I've decided to be a singer.
Oh, okay.
You know why? Because I think I liked the applause. When I was singing, I was 6 years old, I remember, I sang Buhat, which my father taught me. Tapos pinalakpakan ako at the end. Parang
The feeling was...
parang, I like this. I am going to be doing this for the rest of my life.
At 6 years old?
At 6 years old, I decided that this is what I'm going to do. And even up to now, that's very clear to me. And up to now, that's still my decision. Alam mo yun, parang it has never changed. If someone would have asked me, kung hindi ka naging singer, di ba minsan gano'n, what do you think?
I was gonna ask you that question later.
To tell you frankly, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine being anything else but a singer. I think also because God gifted me with this voice, this beautiful talent. Hindi naman lahat nabibigyan, although a lot of us here in the Philippines can sing, pero syempre napipili lang yung mga mabibigyan ng opportunity to be able to do this talaga as a job. So, I cannot think of
any other thing.
I cannot. Maybe an astronaut, but that's very far. Medyo malayo na yun sa Earth.
Well, speaking of singing contests, you've always been associated with singing contests, and in fact have become quite the standard for most.
Wow.
What is about singing competitions that you think Filipinos are very drawn to?
I suppose, when you're a new talent, that's your platform, that's your start. But not all of us naman actually came from there.
Right.
Pero marami na nanggaling talaga sa singing contest. Like my husband, he never joined any singing contest. Martin, I know that joined one singing contest. I'm not sure about Gary. Pero parang konti lang yung nandito sa business na nanggaling talaga sa singing contest. Kasi I think parang it's part of our culture. Singing is part of our culture, and we like... Sa fiesta kasi yun, di ba? Sa mga fiesta yun, di ba? Yung mahilig tayong magpa-contest. I think it's also part of our culture na mahilig magpa-contest, period. Kaya singing contest, kaya dance contest, or natatandaan ko yung, anong tawag doon, yung parang tula, balagtasan, yung mga ganon. Mahilig ang Pilipino sa ganon, sa competition. Di ba? Kaya mahilig tayo sa beauty contest. Right. Yeah. I think, come to think of it, we like that. We like seeing people killing each other for a prize.
For a prize, yeah, or winning.
Or winning. I think we love the winning bit.
Right.
I think we like it. Inspirational kasi.
Yeah.
nanalo yung gusto ko. I think that's it.
Well, singing contests are so different now.
Yes.
If you were going to be joining singing contests today, will it be like American Idol, The Voice, Philippine Idol? Which one would you rather do, you think?
I don't know. I probably won't win. Kasi yung mga singers ngayon, they're so different and ang gagaling na nila. I'll probably join American Idol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kasi masistress ako dun sa The Voice. Paano kung walang humarap sa akin? Masistress talaga ako. Talo ka na agad, di ba? Pag hindi, walang
Right,
humarap.
when nobody turns around, yeah.
Kawawa ka na.
Right.
I'm not gonna join that one.
Well, speaking of singers, speaking of standard singers, does it bother you when singers, whether they're up and coming or current singers of today, try to sound like you? Or when they have a similar arrangement of your songs, be it original or covers when they're performing?
It's actually very flattering for me. Because I used to do that with my idols before. Now they're doing it to me. I mean, I'm parang the standard.
Right.
That's very flattering for me. I'm actually very happy that kumbaga ako yung inspiration nila ngayon. Because I used to do that before. I used to copy someone else's song and style and whatever and emulate how they dress up, like how I do that. And now it's me.
It's you, yeah.
So that's a blessing. That's a blessing for me.
This episode is brought to you by Ayala Land and Make It Makati. Enjoy fun activities, live music, and great food at the Makati Street Meet, happening every weekend starting this March.
His hands were meant for different work, and his heart was known to none. Mom, Daddy, I love you!
Your father, Jerry,
Yes.
is known by many to be one of your major influences in life. In addition to your father, have there been other people or artists that have helped shape the Regine Velasquez that we know of today?
Many. Cool Ledesma. I'm such a big fan of Cool. Sharon Coneta. And Martin, Gary, these artists actually helped me when I was starting. Like Martin was the one who introduced me as Regine because my name before was Shona. And my manager changed it to Regine when he found out na my real name pala was Regina. So it was Martin who introduced me as Regine. And then Gary guested me in one of his biggest concerts. Parang inintroduce din ako sa public. And Ku also produced one of my very first concerts ever when I was 16 years old. We even did a back-to-back together. So these people, Pops Fernandez, I call her my discoverer kasi it was through her kaya ako nag-guest sa Penthouse. It was a show
Sure.
before, and I think the concept of that show that time was mga new singers, new batch of upcoming singers. And we were in the same recording company, Octo Arts, and she suggested that I'd be part of that show. And then Ronnie Hinares, who was the executive producer, I think, of Penthouse, saw me there and became a manager. So I call her my discoverer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, how does it feel those artists that you've just mentioned, you were idolizing them before, they were the ones who helped you pave your way into the industry, and now you're working side by side along each one of them?
Sometimes I get, I still get starstruck. Like a couple of weeks ago, it was Martin's, we celebrated Martin's anniversary. Oh, I'm sorry, his birthday in ASAP, and we all did a number singing his songs. And whenever he would sing his songs, I'd be natutunganga ako kasi parang, oh my God, it's Martin, and I remember his voice, and it's the same sound. It's the same Martin Rivera sound. And I love it. I still get starstruck. Or even Gary Valenciano. One time, my husband celebrated his 50th birthday, and syempre may mga theme.
Sure.
Our theme was 80s. And Gary Valenciano came as Gary Valenciano in the 80s. And I was so starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, it's Gary Valenciano in the 80s. I was so starstruck kasi that's how I remembered him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, superstar. And for some reason kasi nakakakita ako ng aura. I don't know why. Have you experienced that?
Well, right now.
I can see like parang an outline na parang they're shining.
Right.
So, minsan nagaganon ako. But, ang pinaka nasa starstruck talaga ako kay Sharon Cuneta. For the longest time, she thought I was suplada because I can't talk to her. I don't talk to her. Like, when she's there, I'm like, because I can't.
Right.
I parang hindi ko kaya. So, one time, I texted her. Sabi ko, ate, pasensya ka na, pero ang friendship na to ay one-sided lang. Kasi hindi pa kita kaya. But now she's my ate and I love her. But she really is my biggest idol.
Nice.
Like, I love her. She's a singer, she's an actress, and I think her story also, yung life story niya, what she went through, na hindi ko naman na-experience, but parang I felt like, why are you experiencing this? You're Sharon Cuneta. Ganun yung thinking ko. Kaya love na love ko talaga siya. And I'm her biggest fan. Even
Nice.
up to now, yeah.
35 years, I'm sure there were lots of ups and downs. What would you consider as, say, the lowest point, perhaps, maybe, of your career? And on the flip side, what would you consider as the highlight of it?
The lowest point? You know, the thing with me is I don't remember the bad stuff. I only remember the good things that happened to me. Because for me, even those low points in your life, I suppose they have to happen because you learn from them. So I tend to like forget those things and then I just look forward and this is ito na yun. Ito lang yung matatandaan ko. Just the good stuff. Siguro, ang highlight ng career ko, everything is a highlight, I think. But in my life, my personal life, ang highlight sa akin, yung asawa ko. At yung anak ko.
That's nice.
Yun ang highlight. Sa career ko siguro lahat high points. Kasi sa akin blessing yung taga Bulacan lang ako parang kumakanta-kanta lang ako sa gigilid tapos bigla ako naging si Regine Velasquez. Parang blessing sa akin lahat yun. Pero yung magkaroon ako ng asawa, si Ogie, tapos nagkaroon ako ng anak, ibang klaseng highlight yun sa buhay ko, personally.
Yes, yeah. Well, do you have a message? I'm sure this is asked of you so many times. Do you have a message to anyone who's trying to launch or start their singing career right now?
For them to just keep dreaming. Mine started out as a dream, but I worked hard. A lot of prayers and just keep doing it. I don't believe in failure. I don't, because you only fail when you stop. Right? But if you keep doing it, parang pag nadapa ka, you get up, dust yourself up, and then do it again, I don't think you'll fail. So sa akin, wala sa vocabulary ko yung failure, yung word na failure, kasi feeling ko habang buhay ako, habang ginagawa ko yung ginagawa ko, habang kumakanta ako, I'm not gonna fail.
This episode is brought to you by Ayala and Make It Makati. Enjoy fun activities, live music, and great food at the Makati Street Meet, happening every weekend starting this March.
Well, let's take this scenario. You're walking down the street, a 16-year-old Regine Velasquez. What would you tell her?
I'll tell her the same thing. Walang failure. Kasi actually, sa kanya ko naman natutunan yun sa 16 or actually parang mga 10 years old na Chona Velasquez ko naman natutunan yung walang failure. Hindi naman sa akin na matanda na ako. Parang, tinuloy ko lang because the 10-year-old me believed that I will never fail. So I'm not gonna fail her.
Right. So, and here you are.
Here I am. I'm still here.
Nice.
And it's a blessing.
What kind of fool talaga ba?
And maybe what kind of
Next week na yun. Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at State of the Arts PH or to our Spotify channel at State of the Arts. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so come check us out. Share with your friends, family, and fellow arts aficionados and help us get a word out. See you at the theater!